Preserve a charm on it. Check the bond we click. Love so deep, make you wanna sponsor it. No matter how hard it get, respect is all we got. From the rooftop views to Peru, jumping off the yacht. If a nigga scheme, we murder the plot. The burner stay hot like water in the pot. My rock was straight play, y'all. Come home and play with the guards rod. I give my queen a massage, put bud in the bong, and it's back to puddles and ponds. My rock, my all, she's my queen. She knows everything. She had to pinch me twice, cause I thought it was a dream.
What's up, guys? What you just heard was G Mason. Mason, if you ever want to look that up on SoundCloud, go ahead. The Guardian Mason. This is the first episode of Chilling with the Homies, part 1.
Are you recording already?
Yes, sir. I want to introduce an old time friend, one of the best friends, one of the first friends, one of the first people I actually hopped out the house to go chill with in life. Yeah, the homie Matthew Mason, the Guardian Mason. Welcome to the welcome to the show, brother. This is episode 1 of Chilling with the Homies.
Word. So you got the camera going back and forth?
Yes, sir.
So
what we just played right now was a song called Rock With You. Now, I want to do a lyrical breakdown on this song. So, when was this song made? So we could get some history on the song.
All right. So the song was made in, I want to say 2017.
Okay.
It was like 2017, like summer. Yeah, summer 2017.
Summer is always the best time to like make music because it's the atmosphere, especially if you're in New York, the atmosphere, everybody's outside, fire hydrants on. Girls in the fire hydrant in the water, getting a little can of beans, doing what you do with the water. But yeah, what inspired you to make this song? Like what time of the day was it? What was going through your head? And you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna let this flow and let it go.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I like to be real nostalgic with music, and like sometimes I listen to beats, and I'll listen to like 30 beats and better plus, like just trying to find the right beat. And then that beat just came up and it just like, it spoke to me. And then I had like all these, at the time I was, you know, talking to someone from the past, and the beat just kind of made me feel those nostalgia moments. So I said, you know what? People like to hear that kind of thing. So I said, let me write down something like this. And that's what it was.
People definitely like to hear that heartfelt raw emotion because us, we grew up in the 90s, so we grew up to DMX and Nas, and especially DMX he had those ones. He had those ones where you out in the street, then he had those ones like, yo, that's my bitch, don't fuck with my bitch, or But yeah, now everybody can see you visually, everyone can see your face, so now they're gonna ask, what's up with the homie's eye? Why is you actually had a freestyle on a Jay-Z, you, him, her, one brown, one blue. Shorty thought it was cute. So
yeah, that was a good line. Yeah.
So explain how you got the blue eye, because personally, I don't know. You told me another story, but I think it was fabricated. So maybe if you tell me the story again, it'd be different. Let's see.
I mean, just like you in a way, I really don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I believe it's fabricated as well. I just through my own research, I could understand how I've come to have my eye this way. But through the history of my life, it happened when I was 3, and I just believe it came from some sort of abuse. You know what I mean? I can't recall the moment because I was too young to remember. But as far as I know, it was just a back and forth war between what happened, who did it, why it happened, and you know, just grew up this way. Grew up this way, and you know, did whatever I could to become confident and stray from stray from the scrutiny of my family and the possibilities of what actually happened and whatnot. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah, because I
that's
I remember when you told me, like, this is a while back. This is still in the brain. Like, you one of my
mm,
good friends. So I think you had told me something about you falling off a table onto a nail. That's what
hmm
you had told me. I don't
so
know if
that's what
it's
the story. That's how the story goes. Supposedly jumping from one bed to another and slid from the bed, and somehow my eye hit a nail that was like nailed into a table or something like that.
mm,
But when you're young, you kind of believe that. You want to believe that.
yeah.
But as you get older, you start to you start to think about what makes sense.
Hmm.
And is it possible? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But till now, I have no real answers.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's something I'm gonna die with. You know what I mean?
It's definitely something you're gonna die with, but the main reason of having it is to be confident, be you, and if
hmm
nobody accepts you for you, you don't need them.
Oh, bro, you know that's a fact. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Keep the negativity out the circle. The circle got has to stay tight. Has to stay
Yeah,
tight. That's just part of life. And
yeah.
when you grow up, you'll learn this person's bad for me. I just got to cut them off.
hmm
Even just because people are family don't mean that they're family. Just because
hmm
people are blood don't mean that they're family. They can be related and
hmm
be your enemy. They can
Yeah,
hate you the most.
yeah. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
So you grew up in the hometown of Brooklyn,
Hey,
Bushwick.
hey,
Hey,
hey. Talk
I
about it.
I'm on the dark side. I'm on the dark side of Bushwick. You more on the light side.
Yeah,
I'm on the
you're
L
from.
train on Wilson. You're
hmm
from what train?
That's
M
the M
train.
train.
M train.
hmm That's Myrtle and Whitecoff.
Myrtle and Wyckoff, and then
Myrtle
Jimmy
and Nagamotto.
Jazz, and
hmm
all. Oh man, I miss that place. I live in
I know.
California now, and you had
Yeah,
moved. You moved on. You
Pennsylvania.
said, "The hell with this place. I'm getting out of here."
Yeah,
And you moved to Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania. Yep.
and I actually lived with you for a couple months.
Yeah, you
That,
did. Yep.
yep, that
Yep.
that went that went sour real quick because
Hey,
women are
it was
crazy.
it had its moments.
Had its
We
ups
definitely
and
had our
downs, but it had
moments.
more ups than downs. We made a lot of music.
Yeah, we had fun though. We definitely
Oh,
had fun.
we definitely have tons of fun. Rekindled, you know,
hmm
went to a radio station, freestyled at the
hmm
radio. We just walked in a radio station. It's like,
Yep.
yo, yeah, the radio station. It's like, yeah, we
Yep.
do something like that. Just come on in and chill. And then we signed the guitar, Our Town
Yeah, that was
Radio,
crazy.
shout out.
Our Town Radio. Yep.
Yep. We did
Yeah, I was
a
trying to
little
remember what was the name of that radio station.
they had went live. I was spitting some writtens. I bombed heavy. You
You did.
did your
You did.
thing.
We went in. We went in. We did what we had to do.
You
That was
definitely
a
did
good
your
night.
thing. So
Yeah.
being from Brooklyn, the both of us come from poverty.
Yeah.
How, in your experience, how was poverty for you?
In my experience, I mean, it's not. How can I put it? Like, I do think about it often because I am someone who sort of tends to go back to those old things to also bring me towards the. I tend to go to the past to bring me to the present, if that makes any sense.
Survival mode, I would say.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it was crazy, man. You know, I didn't talk about it much in my last interview that I did. You know what I mean?
What's
But
what's his name? The last interview
um,
you did?
B, boy
B.
B,
Shout out to B,
Cameron.
man. Shout out to
Shout
Cam.
out to B.
Go
He's
check
also
that
he's
out if you
also
guys ever get the chance.
yeah, he's also good. He's also a real good friend of mine. Like, you know, I had friends for years that seen different parts. It's like it's so weird. Everybody has a different part of me. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like my experience with you, like we grew up together basically since like
Got
childhood.
got a ass whoop together.
You know what I mean?
Hit
And
up
then like
Highland
other
Park.
people, Highland Park. Yeah, man. So like poverty, man. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we got to think we grew up. Well, me personally, I grew up in Bushwick, and you know, it was just straight up rugged. You know what I mean? Like the block is filled. People live in an infested neighborhood. You know, mice, rats everywhere, roaches. You know what I'm saying? Um, it was just bad. It was just bad. You know what I mean? No heat. Some winters. You know what I mean? Rats breaking into the corners of the house, like in the corners. I remember watching rats like in the kitchen. Like me and my mom was in the living room and we was watching like two rats like just chase each other around in the kitchen. And I mean rats. I don't mean mice. When I say
Yeah,
rats, I mean rats.
same.
You know what I mean?
They was fighting for food. You could hear
They
them
were like,
scratching through the wall type stuff.
yeah, yeah. They were like playing tag. We were like, oh, you know what I mean? But it was. I remember one time we were making like heroes in the morning. You know what I mean? Like sandwich heroes.
Shout out to the corner store.
And in the morning, I remember my grandmother was there, my family, everybody was there. Early in the morning, we had a ceiling fan. Well, there was no ceiling fan, but there was the hole in the ceiling fan where you put the ceiling fan up.
Yep.
And I remember like we had like the mayonnaise, or whatever, the mouse like just fell inside the mayonnaise. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Like that
Sheesh.
was crazy. So yeah, it was like that, man. There were times we were poor, there was times we had it, there was times we didn't. And yeah, it was rough. You know, you was there personally. Like everybody was
Oh yeah.
asking me about this this interview, and I said, look, man, my boy, he been there firsthand. Like he was behind the doors. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
remember I was in my grandmother's house and it was you, your pops, Brandon, your sister, your
Mm-hmm.
mom's. Um, and I asked my grandmom, yo, can I go with them? Because your grandmother was going. I was like, can I go with them? She's like, yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Because that grandmother let me do everything I want.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe because I'm the baby, I don't know. But I went first time going on that side of Bushwick.
yeah.
We young. I was like 10,
Mm-hmm.
9, somewhere around there.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably a little bit younger. And we all chilling, talking, eating. And then your pops is like, yo, let's go to the basement.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Damn.
this is back when you had San Andreas on the OG big Xbox.
You think? Yeah? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Either GTA
Right.
3 or San Andreas. We definitely had the Warriors for sure.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Um, so yeah, we went to the basement. I'm just there like, damn, what's going on in my young mind? What's going on? Why are we in a basement? First of all.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you and Brandon put the gloves on. I'm like, what's going on
Word.
here? And then your father's like,
Yeah,
all right, go ahead. And y'all niggas just start going at it with their hands. I'm like, oh, I've never seen some shit like this before. I'm young.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
raised in that environment. My pops
Yeah,
wasn't like
yeah.
that. My pops was I see my pops when he get out of work and I see him for like 15 minutes go to sleep. So my
Yeah, yeah.
grandmother's house that I met you in, I was only, my mom died when I was 6. So I was split. So when I went there, I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, go back with my father's mom's
Mm-hmm.
type stuff. So, and it was the
Mm-hmm.
same for you. Like, all right, no school this weekend. We going to grandma's house.
Word,
That's how it
word,
was.
word.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I never seen that. Y'all going at it. I'm I'm not sure if Destiny was in it. Your sister. I'm
My
not sure
sister.
if she put the gloves on, but I'm
Mm,
pretty sure she did because I don't think she's scared to hit a man. So
Nah.
yeah, y'all was going at it, and I never seen anything like that. And I was like, man, this is my boy right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. That was crazy, man. That was a crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's why you said that because I forgot that we went into the basement. You know what I mean? But yeah, you already know, bro. We've been.
So speaking of you and your brother throwing hands, I know that's a big passion of yours, boxing.
Hmm. Hmm.
As a kid, still is.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
now, and now, how old are you? 24, 25, 27, 28,
We'll go with the 24. Ugh.
24. Ah, well,
Nah, I'm 29, bro.
I'm 30. I'm 30
Yeah,
now. Like
yeah,
we old.
yeah. We getting
So,
up there.
so boxing.
Yeah.
Now that you're 30 years old, 29 years old, excuse me, you have children of your own, and you had your
Hmm.
children early,
Hmm.
earlier than most.
Hmm.
And I'm sure you teach them boxing like your father taught you boxing.
Yeah.
How is that being a dad? First question. And second
Hmm.
question, teaching them what your dad taught you and things that you learned along the way.
Yeah. Well, let's start from the beginning, right? Because when I started boxing, this is how it started. Like I'm gonna give you the full story. So my dad was already boxing. My dad was boxing like when he was like um I was about 5 and he was already boxing. So I have a picture, on my Instagram, at like Mattlife28. Yeah, go check that out. I got a picture on my
Go follow
Instagram.
that on Instagram, Mattlife28. That's two T's.
Word. And I was hitting the bag, you know what I mean? But when it really got started, we were in Brooklyn. We were in Bushwick, Grove Street, 293, stand up. And there was a barbecue in the backyard. I was young. I had to be like 6. I had to be 6. And this is I'm gonna explain to you the difference between my kids and when we were kids. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like I was like 6, and I remember it started because this kid named Tulio. They lived on the 3rd floor. Tulio and Anthony. They lived on the 3rd floor, and we had a barbecue. And on the 2nd floor was Maria, and she had her kids, which I think she had like 3 daughters. I don't think she had a son yet at that time.
Right.
And then Mimi, which was one of her daughters, was riding like a little bike in the yard. Now this is a dirt yard, but I don't know. She got her bike back there, and and I remember Tulio and Anthony were trying to get her off the bike, and I don't know why I came trying to be a hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, a little kid, like, yo, give her bike back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I don't know. I don't remember if me and him started like kind of pushing each other or what the case was, but my dad had hand wraps in the house. Just had one pair of hand wraps, and I guess he decided like, yo, if y'all gonna act up, like, you might as well just fight. You know what I mean? Now
Yeah.
this is a barbecue.
This is a
There's
barbecue.
people.
And let the
There's mad
people
people
know.
here.
Let the people know your dad is before our time in the 90s. His way of growing up was a lot different.
Yeah, he was reckless. He was
A lot
reckless.
different. And
Yeah,
don't get it twisted. Brooklyn, how you see it now, is gentrified.
yeah, it's not the
Not
same
the
at all.
same.
It was
Less
wild.
cops back then.
It was wild. We the last of that breed.
Yep.
You know what I mean? For sure. And so I remember like I went, got the hand wraps, and we cut them from one pair into 2 pairs. So we went to the basement, and my dad was trying to show me how to throw a jab, like how to step in with a jab and how to back up with a jab. That was it. And then Maria's husband, his Z, I don't know if you remember Z,
No.
he was down there, and he was trying to show Tulio how to box. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I'm already taking this like super serious because I'm watching this kid next to me trying to learn how to fight while I'm learning how to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Survival
And
mode.
yeah, so
Early.
I'm like looking at him, and so we went back up, and we went in the yard, and we just started throwing hands. He hit me in the eye. I will never
Mm.
forget. He hit me in the eye, and I started crying. You know what I mean? And everybody's like yelling, like, "Oh, don't be a little bitch!" Blah 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 blah. I was like, "All right, you know." So we got up again, and then I just went crazy. Bang, 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 bang. Little kid, just
Yeah,
you know. And then I remember like me and Brand. I remember Brandon jumped in, and now me and Brandon's beating up his brother like on the gate, all types of stuff. Like I don't know what happened. And I remember,
it's crazy.
yeah, it was crazy. And then the mom, God rest her soul, she passed away. Her name was Anna.
Hmm.
She was upstairs from her on the third floor, like screaming to her kids, like, "Hey, come upstairs, Tulio and Maria, Anthony," and they went running upstairs. And then I don't know. From that day on, we just training every day in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing all the time, boxing on the block all the time. Like that was a big thing too. Like boxing on the block. Like we got real. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
we got nice with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
We
where
were
you.
boxing everybody.
That's where you got more skill because everybody has a different technique.
Mm-hmm. And we were going at it with everyone. Like we became the two brothers that nobody really wanted to box with. Like
Hmm.
everybody would like we would come first of all, it'll be like 60 people in the neighborhood
Hmm.
boxing in the street. Then me and my brother, me and Brandon will come and be like, "Yo, what up? Like we got next." They're like, "Oh,
Fuck! Here
here
come
come,
these two pro
here come
ass
these
niggas.
two."
Fuck.
You know what I'm saying? And it was all the time, bro, all the time. But we used to, and then you bring up the basement. Like I remember I used to train everybody in the basement. Like go to the
Mhm.
basement. There'll be like 6, 7 of us in the basement, just doing little workouts and trying to like, learn little techniques or whatnot. So yeah, that been with me forever, man. That been with me forever. So going forward to my kids, um, I teach them a little bit. Like Elias, I teach Elias a little bit. He's pretty good. But I didn't go to the lengths that I went to when I was learning yet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So eventually I will go to that length with them. But they're gonna pick up pretty fast. They're gonna understand. But they're not like me and Brandon. Like, when I was growing up, we were definitely ahead of our time already. And you
Yeah.
know that. We were growing up in the 90s, going into the 2000s. Like we didn't have all the things that these kids have now. Like my kids got Nintendo Switches, they got cell phones, they got
Mhm.
PlayStation 4. You know what I'm saying? They
Mhm.
got no friends. They don't go outside. You know what I
Yep.
mean? They talk to their friends on the games.
Yep.
We didn't have
That's
that.
that's where they gain their new friends.
We didn't have that. We were outside fighting, like getting into real fights. I was outside getting jumped. I was getting into real fights. I was chasing girls around and in and out the house and block parties and all types of
Mhm.
crazy stuff. Basement parties, dancing.
Mhm.
And my kids they don't have that, and they're smaller. I feel like
Yeah.
kids from then, like when I was 12, I was pretty big, and then Brandon was pretty big, and they huge now. Like I look at my kids, like my kids, Elias is 12, Ariel is 8, and Ariel's gonna be huge. He's gonna be a tall ass kid, but
Yeah.
Elias is man, they tiny. Like the food, I think the food is even different. You know what I mean?
So you think so when when you put the gloves on them, was it because they wanted to learn or was it because you wanted them to learn?
Now I wanted them to learn. They have to learn.
Yeah.
They have to. And you would think like, I mean, my youngest, he's a little bit more shy about it, but he wants to learn because he wants to do everything Elias does,
Mhm.
you know. So he wants also to be like, me too, me too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So they're into it. Like Elias is definitely into it, but I just got to do it more with them, because
Mhm.
I feel like with them always having like a game in their hand, a phone in their hand,
Mhm.
it kills the imagination. It
Yeah.
kills them wanting to do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because one day they're gonna grow, and then something's gonna happen. Somebody probably bully them or try to start with
Hmm.
them, and then it's gonna click in their brain. Boom! I need to learn that.
Yeah,
I need to learn that
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's a fact.
So
Yep.
when that happens, that's definitely gonna be the changer of
Yeah, it
life.
definitely is.
That's what
Yeah, they
it is.
haven't
The
experienced that yet.
paradigm's gonna shift,
Hmm.
and then you as a parent gonna be like, man, I know my kid got these hands. I hope he don't go do something stupid.
Word.
But at the same time, you raise them well, you raise them with wisdom, dignity, morals.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
they're not going to do that. But the streets are the streets.
Yep. Yep. It's gonna there's gonna come a time, and like every parent, I think like every parent, they scared of that moment. I'm scared of that moment, but when it comes, we'll figure out how to deal with it. And we just got to get them in there, got to get them training, getting their body right,
Hmm.
conditioning their mind, like now, like from now. You know what I mean? But that'll come. That'll come.
Man, I just watched my two nephews, CJ and Caleb. CJ's the older one. He's the first one. Yo, that boy was hitting the ropes,
Yeah.
one hand swinging his legs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
doing his thing. And then his little brother was doing it too. I'm like, yo, my brother really got them, like, because they fight in competitions, but this COVID stuff, they can't fight,
Mhm.
but they still train.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, my two nephews are ill, sick with it with the hands. Like if they could hit a rope like that, I know they could hit a bag like that.
What they do, karate?
Nah, boxing. You know my brother.
What they doing, boxing?
Boxing.
Nice,
Boxing. Strictly
nice.
boxing.
How old are they?
Kayla, CJ is 15, 16. Caleb's 13, just turned 13.
Nice, nice. That's
And then
good.
and then Chris also has a niece, a daughter, which is my niece.
Hmm.
So shout out to all of them. Shout out Amanda. I know you guys are gonna see this. Shout
Yeah,
out, shout
yeah.
out
We
to
got to do
Chris,
something.
DJ,
We got to do
Kayla.
something with Chris one day. We got to get
Definitely,
Chris on here
definitely.
one day. All of
Yeah, we
us, all three
do.
of us.
Go follow All Talks with Life with Christopher Beniquez.
Yep, yep.
That is another podcast that he just created. Big ups to my brother, older brother. I'm the youngest of the family. But speaking about family, what's your passion? What are your influences? Who are your influencers?
Mm. I mean, are you asking as far as family goes?
Anything. Could be
The baldy
family,
women.
could be anything. Let the
Baldy
baldy out.
Man, I got a lot of influences. I mean, it's a lot. Like, you know, first of all, we're gonna stay from the beginning, and I hope everybody can relate from the beginning. My first influence was Michael Jackson. You know, I feel like a lot of people are scared to say Michael Jackson or their like first influence just
Mhm.
because he's Michael Jackson and whatever,
And
whatever,
and for
whatever
the
goes
people
against him.
that don't know you, you are a dancer. You dance. That's
Yeah,
that's other than rap, you dance.
yeah, yeah. Oh, we're gonna touch on it. But it was I would say Michael Jackson was first, and then Michael Jackson, to this day, I think just still like he's still the biggest influence. Just to see somebody achieve that sort of power that he had, and he still had some sort of like weird innocence to it. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like he was just the dude was powerful, he was magnetic. And then there's other people like Mike Tyson when it comes to boxing. Like Mike Tyson to this day, I still mimic him. I'm so
Tank.
excited, bro. I'm so excited. He's coming out and he's about to kill this
Man,
fight.
November 28th,
It's
Mike
gonna be a
Tyson
movie.
versus Roy Jones Jr.
It's historical. It's gonna be historical. It's
History.
gonna be historical.
History. I got
Yeah.
I got second round TKO.
Second round.
Second round TKO. Because it's
Oh,
only 8 rounds.
yeah, it's true.
3 minutes.
That is true. I don't know. I can't I can't speak for them. I can't speak for them right now just because they're up in age
Hmm.
and they both are focused in two different ways. Like I look at it like Roy Jones is looking at this like this is his last fight ever. He says he's not fighting again after this. So he's also looking at it like I took a bunch of losses because he lost like a couple of his last fights.
Yeah.
And by knockout and by decision, like he rusty. So if he fights Mike Tyson and he's looking at it like this is gonna be my last iconic moment as a boxer, then he's gonna take it real serious. And then Tyson's looking at it like I'm ready to eat, I'm ready to hunt.
Have you seen his training videos?
Oh my god! Oh my
Oh
god!
man. Tank.
Of course, he's a
Fast as
monster.
ever.
He's an animal, bro. Is what he was built for. It's just
It's what he
that's
was
just it's
born
in
to
him.
do.
Yeah, it's just in him. It's in him. But yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a great fight, and I just hope they play it smart and nobody holds back. Like, I mean, I'm scared for Roy Jones, but then at the same time, I'm looking at Roy Jones like you might have a little trick up your sleeve. We don't know.
He
You
might pull
know,
a Mayweather, just get the
he
points.
oh he's definitely gonna try to pull Mayweather. But the thing is, the people like I haven't heard nobody talking about is Mike Tyson does not back up. If you
Mm-hmm.
watch any of Mike Tyson fights, Mike Tyson does not take a step back. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's a forward fighter always,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the same time he cuts off the ring. So he's gonna get him in the corner somehow. And if
Yeah.
not, he said it himself. He's expecting to chase him the whole night. So he's preparing himself. So we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
Can't
It's
wait
gonna
for
be
that
interesting.
fight.
Um,
So
I'm so happy to see that.
more of your influencers.
Influencers. I mean, as time goes on, like I said, Mike. You got Michael Jackson. You got Mike Tyson. Um, and then as I got older, I mean, like music wise, I could name like everybody. Like Jesus, the list goes. Right now at this moment, it's still M. M is always gonna be just because he's holding it down still at his age, and you know what I mean. He's going at it with all the criticism he gets and whatnot. He's still the best. You know what I
Still.
mean? But even before him, you know what I mean, music wise, you got Pac, you got Big. Obviously, they're always going to be mentioned. And then the thing is too, people don't understand or don't know. It's like with me, like with music, like when I was young in the house, I used to hear old school music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was raised off old school music, and I'm talking about like Biz Markie. I'm talking about Queen
Yeah.
Latifah, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim.
Freestyle
That
music.
music, freestyle music, that was being played in my house. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm
Same.
saying? Slick Rick, like I met real Roxanne Shante. I did a show for MC Light when I
I
used
never
to
knew that.
dance. Yeah, I did a show for both of them. You know what I mean? I got a picture with MC Light actually,
Mm.
and that was iconic. But yeah, that influenced me in a way with music, especially like, and there's so many names I'm leaving out, like Nas, Mob Deep, Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? DMX. This just the list
Especially
goes
Big
on and on.
Pun. Yo,
Especially.
those Puerto Rican Day parades, man.
Uh
We
huh.
always look forward to those.
Uh huh.
Always. I'll
We
just
were
pop up on the
super lit.
block randomly. Big Puerto
We were
Rican
super lit.
flag,
Mm
looking like Puerto Rican man,
hmm.
just walking down Bushwick, the whole Bushwick.
Facts. Yeah, and I put that in that track. That track I made. Oh, it's actually I don't know if you got it. You might have it.
You have to send me that video so I can put it in here.
Yeah, I gotta find it again. I think I left the videos are with my dad. I was going through my Facebook to see who I sent videos to, but I
Mm.
gotta find. I got it. I got it. But yeah, that was. But more influences. You know what I mean? I mean, you get a little bit from everybody. I take a little bit from everyone and make it my own. Like like recently, like a couple years ago, when I started getting into like motivational speaking and inspiring and things like that. Like I went to go see Gary V.
Mm-hmm.
I met Tony Robbins,
Mm.
Les Brown. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? I went to go see those people, and they definitely inspire me a lot. Steve Harvey inspires me like crazy.
Mm.
Kevin Hart inspires me. Joe Rogan for sure. You know what I mean? It's just
Juggernaut,
the list goes on and on, man. The Rock, The Rock definitely inspires me. That's my. I feel like Rock for president, but
man. Shout out to The Rock, man. Shout
facts.
out to that Terramana tequila that I buy every week when I have
You like
days
it?
off. Love it.
Yeah, I never tried
Love
it.
it. You pour it with some orange juice and you squeeze a lemon
Mm,
in there.
hmm.
Telling you.
Nice. But yeah, that's as far as influence goes. Like even growing up though, like I had some influences in my neighborhood that led me to like want to dance and you know just be that dude. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's a
Confidence.
lot, man. Yeah, exactly.
Confidence. You mirror what you see. So you're taking
Hmm.
all the things that you love about them and you want to project it,
Hmm.
but
Exactly.
in your own way, the only way you know how, and that's you.
Exactly.
So aside from influencers, aside from all the bull,
Yeah.
how you're actually one of the lucky people in the world that can actually answer this question. How is the relationship with your mother and
Hmm.
also your dad from growing up, what happened, and now?
I was wondering what you was gonna ask. I was like, where is he going with this one? I mean, you know, over time, I feel like when I was younger, obviously, and firsthand, obviously, it was a it was a it was a crazy environment to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the worst environments to be in, and nobody really knew about what took place behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? Um, at a young age, at the age I was, and also as the person I was as a kid, being able to just observe everything and absorb my environment and absorb the information that was in my environment and being able to separate the two and make sense of it all. You know what I mean? I definitely developed internal feelings
Mm-hmm.
towards everything that was going on, but I had to learn how to control them and how to express them in order to get what I needed out of my
Mm-hmm.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned very fast that you can't be, you just can't be that wild in the world and not be, um, what's the word I'm looking for, and not be held accountable
Mm-hmm.
for your actions.
But you have to
So,
be.
but you have to
Never
be.
give a
And you know
person
what
more
the
than you
crazy,
want them to leave with.
yeah, and you know what the crazy thing is? Like you bring up like our grandmothers.
Yeah.
Like it was. This is what I always what I've learned was I got to see two different worlds. Like when we were like in Brooklyn in Bushwick, it was crazy. It was chaos. It was drama. It was fights. It was riots. It was robberies. It was shootings. It was everything. You know what I mean? And then we had our own poverty and our own problems at home. You know what I mean? And then going to like my grandmother's way, like, that's grandma's house. Like you go to
Mm-hmm.
grandma's house, like, it was like a different world. It was calm. We would go outside and just play like with the neighborhood kids and go to Highland Park and,
Mm-hmm.
we'll eat, we'll shower and be taken care of. Like it was just
Chill with the kid downstairs.
chill. Exactly. You know what I mean?
It's like, you
Fonzie from
said
across the
yes,
street.
I can go.
I actually seen this kid too, right?
Yeah.
George's son. What was his
Yeah.
name? That we used to they
We
used to do
call him
karate.
Fonzie, Jonathan. I think
Fonzie,
it's
yeah, Jonathan. I seen him. I seen him when I was in New York last. That's crazy. And I bumped into him walking down that block.
mm,
What's that block called? Arlington?
Linwood.
Is it Arlington?
Linwood and Arlington,
Linwood.
man. The
Linwood. Yeah.
tallest, the tallest apartment building on that block
Yeah. I
across the
was
street
walking
from the
down.
school.
I was walking down the block, and he pulled up on me. He was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" Like, oh, weird still. He's still weird. And we had a conversation, man. And I was like, wow. So being able to see two different worlds was able to split my brain in half and actually make me understand the difference between good and like the good life, the bad life, and where you want to be. So you kind of want to be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be too much of one. You need a balance. So I mean, so anyway, as I got older, and my parents separated, and that happened when I was like 16, and that was bad because I did a lot of things that nobody really knows about. You know what I'm saying? And almost not finishing school and
Allegedly.
not graduating, allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
You know what I mean? Got into a lot of serious problems, and but I made it happen. But at that time, my relationship with my mom was bad, and over time, we were able to fix that. And then there were times where my relationship with my dad was bad,
Mm-hmm.
and over time, we were able to fix that too. So what I'm trying to say is I'm in a place where I make, just like recently, and not so recent, but like over the year, I cut a lot of cut a lot of my peers out of my circle.
Mm-hmm.
Peace with a lot of my enemies. Come to understandings and you know ask for my forgiveness and forgiving others, and just living day to day. So right now, I don't got no animosity towards nobody. no hate in my heart towards no one because I'm just, you already know I'm focused on
Hmm.
my future. I'm focused on
No beef, no malice.
focus on exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. It's all good. You're always gonna have a situation with your family, no matter
Yeah.
what. It's your family. It's just always gonna be that way. And they're never really gonna see things the way you see it. And also from different timelines, like they're not gonna
Mhm.
understand.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? So
So
even like going back to my kids,
yes.
like even going back to them, you know what I'm saying? I have to make sure I don't repeat that which I have already experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like with them, things have to be different, and especially with technology. And we actually are fortunate that we sort of came up with technology, and now our
Hmm.
kids got it. So they're experiencing it with us, or we're
Yeah.
experiencing it with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because the grandparents, I don't know how to work this smartphone. Give me the flip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because it's just different.
I got my moments though. Sometimes I ask Just, or I ask somebody like, "Yo, I don't know how to do this, bro. Go ahead, you do
That's
it.
yeah, yeah.
Just put the
I,
camera on and
I'm
we
like
good."
that sometimes with my fiance's little brother because I got him an Xbox and now he got
Mm,
friends on Xbox, but he's a soccer player.
nice, nice, nice.
So
Yeah, man.
other than family, what are your desires in life? What do you
That's
lust
a good
for?
question. What do I lust for? Man, that's a strong word, but we're gonna stick with desires. lust is out the lust is out the question. Lust is gone. But you know what I desire, and see, I'm different now from
Hmm.
even when the last time you saw me. Like
Hmm.
the last time we hung out was at that time when you were living. We were all living in the same house together.
Yep. Shout out to
You know what I
everybody who
mean?
was living in that house, man.
Exactly. So shout out to that time because after you had moved on, I had my second kid, and
Hmm.
then me and the mother of my kid split up.
Hmm.
And then that was a long, like it's been about 8 years now, right? So the person that I was then, the desires I had were like music, right?
Yeah.
And and also like not playing my part either as like a father, as a husband, as a role model, anything. I was completely turned away in a different direction. And then everything that was happening, man, everything that was happening it was not a good time for me in my life at that time, for any of us.
Yeah.
You know what I
Good
mean? So
crossroads.
exactly. So over time, as I've got older, within like the past 4 years, let's say like the past 4 years, I've come into learning about myself, reading, meditating, studying, just learning about the universe,
Hmm.
history, because I always loved history. There was a point where I was like doing drugs, you know what I mean, like for a little while.
On
And
this on the scale of 1 to 10, how hard were these drugs?
they were pretty hard. That just I never let's just say like I never did like
Hey
heroin or
man,
anything like
no, of
that.
course. I hope not. Shit, we're
Nah,
gonna have
nothing
to box it
crazy
out.
like that.
I might
But
lose.
but there was I went off the rails for a while because I gave up. You know what I mean? At one point, I didn't feel like I had any purpose anymore. I didn't feel like there was anything to strive for. I was in a dark place. You know what I'm saying? As far as finance goes, as far as my love life went, as far as the job went, as far as family went, it was a very dark time. I
Mhm.
was nightmares, all types of craziness. So to bring it to the future though, now I'm about that bag right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I'm also about healing
Mhm.
myself and also healing others and also becoming the best person I can.
That's the most
That's what
important.
I'm, that's what I'm that's what it is to me. Like I'm looking for wealth, health, happiness, um, just everything that the world has to offer at this time.
Mhm.
I'm not worried about having friends. I'm not worried about women.
Mhm.
I'm not worried about taking any more losses. Like I'm just I'm ready to go. That's where I'm at.
That's
So that's
the
what I'm passionate about. I'm
tunnel
passionate about,
vision.
yeah, I'm passionate about putting my kids in good schools, in schools that I pay for, the
Hmm.
education, so I
Hmm.
know what's going on. You know what I mean? Um, you know, I want to live in a good location, a house. I want to have nice cars. I want to have everything. I want to have everything that already belongs to me.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like get out of that poverty mentality into that successful mentality, into that mentality that you can manifest and acquire anything you dream of, anything you want, anything that's in here, anything you see in front of you came from inside first. Somebody had to think about it before it can be created. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Such as that
Manifest
mic.
thought.
Exactly. So that's where I'm at. That's what I desire.
So with the manifestation of thought,
Yeah.
before that comes, well,
Hmm.
it's actually contributed with the same as the spiritual experimentation, because
Hmm.
you were a broken soul. Your spirit
Yeah.
was broken. You're like,
Yeah.
what do I do? I was there
Hmm.
too. It's like,
Hmm.
what do I do? And I
Yeah.
remember when I went over there, I don't know how I'm not sure the relationship of you and the mother of your children, how like were, but obviously you guys had a second kid. But I
Yeah.
remember showing you Joe Budden,
Yeah. Yeah.
good music for
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah.
It honestly it changed my life when I was down in the dumps. I'm not sure if you were down in the dumps at the time, but I
Hmm.
felt like I need to show this to him. This is
Yeah.
important. Like these words that are in this are very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Shout out to Joe Budden, man, for
Shout out to Joe
movie
Budden.
music.
Because when I
'Cause,
first heard that, if it goes to the wire, I will never fall.
mhm.
I got the soul of a fighter. Walk
Walk
barefoot over the
barefoot
cold through
over
the
the coals
fire.
to the
I
fire.
was like,
I got
oh
the
my
toll
God.
lighter. Just make sure the blunts rolled a
A
little
little
tighter. I
tighter.
tell you,
Yeah.
just a little piece.
Peace of
Yo,
mind. That spoke to me
killed
in
that.
many
Yeah.
levels. Like that entire album.
Yo.
It's amazing. And people do not give Joe the credit he deserves.
Yeah. I think it's because who he is as a person
Yeah.
outside of music. Like in the booth, he's a beast. His pen, his lyrics, his what
Shout
he
out
can
to
express.
Slaughterhouse, man.
Shout out to Slaughterhouse. Shout out to all of them.
Rory
I love
Ball,
all of them.
Parks.
Yeah. With Joe Budden, man, like, okay, first of all, let's dive into that because at the time when you introduced me to him, first of all, I was very ignorant to music in a way just because of the new stuff that was coming out. I wasn't
Hmm.
even listening to music anymore.
Hmm.
Like,
Same.
you know what I mean? Like I'm like if you go on my Spotify and all that, like everybody knows my music's old school. Like
Hmm.
it's now that I'm trying to like, I listen to a couple things, but I can't do it for too long. Like you gotta be saying something to me. Like Nas just dropped this new album. Like I love it.
Already listened
You
to
know
the
what I
whole
mean?
thing.
And he put the firm back on it, AZ, Foxy Brown. Come I was like, yo,
The Locks just
hard.
came out with a new album too.
The Locks came out with an album. So at that time, and that was about 2000,
12.
because that was like 2012, 2000, yup. And I wasn't really listening to music. I was only listening to like my my Big Pun, Biggie Pac, whatever that
Same.
I was already used to.
But I was on
Nas.
Kendrick,
Yeah, I was on Kendrick a little bit,
Cole.
I just wasn't listening to music. And then when you came, that's when we had set up the studio. We started, with the mattress covering the doorway.
Yep.
And that night, that night, you was like, yo, first of all, I was in a bad place, but I was also oblivious to my situation.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I was dumb.
Yeah.
I was
Blind.
dumb.
Love is blind. Shout out to Eve.
So you was like, yo, you was like, smoke this, you know,
Smoke this blunt real
go
quick.
smoke it, and listen to the album. And I remember you telling me like, yo, you ever listen to Joe Budden? But I was like, nah, I was like, I don't listen to that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, ah. And then I listened to that first song. The first song was
Pray for
uh
me.
Pray for Me. And then I went crazy. Like I just went through the whole album and I was stuck with the headphones on and every word, everything he said just, and I was mind blown. And I
Yeah.
said, yo, and I went up to you and you was upstairs and I was like, yo, bro. And he changed that album right there, changed my perspective.
Yup.
It changed everything. It changed my train of thought. It changed the way I write, the way I thought of bars. And the way I've also thought of life. Like some people don't like Joe Budden because they think he's depressing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, that's the
That's
button.
me. That's
Yeah, I
me
was like,
right now.
I was like, that's what I want to hit when I write. Like that's what I want to be. That's what I want to
Yeah.
be on. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So he definitely helped me out. And then with flow and just the way he put his words together, I was like, okay,
Hmm.
this is that dude right now.
And then
And then
the stories he would tell.
stories were crazy. The stories were crazy, especially when he had like for my I mean, I got a lot of favorites on that track, on that album. But what was the Black Cloud or something
Black
like
Cloud.
that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Black Cloud was crazy. Like the way he ended it. Maybe it's serendipity. Maybe it's weighing on me physically. Maybe I
Yeah.
should man up and tell God not to solicit me.
Listen, be
Been medicated, meditated, sedated, hated, procrastinated. All these
yeah,
years procrastinated,
yeah.
hard headed. If it was on my mind, I had to say
Say
it.
it.
Tongue on the
Yep.
devil's pitchful just to feel had disaster tasted. Woo!
Yup.
I was
That's
like,
that shit.
yo. I said, damn, this dude's nice. I said, this dude's really nice. Like he definitely
It
touched on a
spoke to
lot.
you.
Yeah, he spoke. So yeah, man, that definitely changed me. I don't even know how we got on this right here. What was your
Spiritual
question?
experimentation. So
Oh,
with me showing you Joe Budden and
yeah, yeah.
got so deep into the words,
Mhm.
got so deep into the flow, and as you said, it changed your mindset, it changed your
Mhm.
perspective, the way you think, the way you, I'm pretty sure your reaction to certain things hit different, because right
Yeah.
after you heard that and you was like, yo, bro, and we went in the booth, it was different. Like
Yeah,
we at
yeah,
least recorded 60 different freestyles in a matter of 4 hours,
yeah.
like
Yeah, yeah.
just going. And I still
Yeah.
have all that stuff in the PC. I still got
Mhm.
that little video you was boxing homeboy,
Oh, in the
gave him your
backyard.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
just seen him too the other day.
but
He
along
was
with
like, "Yo,
all
you were
that,
giving it to me, bro. You were giving it to me." I was like, "But go ahead, bro."
but along with all that, I myself have found meditation when I was a broken soul, and that changed me. I'm pretty sure you could tell by the way I talk and the way I say my words now. It's different.
Mhm.
It's not the
Mhm.
same. I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
ever stay the same. We have to change. We have to evolve. But
Exactly.
I was dipping and diving into meditation myself, and it changed me for the better.
Mhm.
I don't
Mhm.
react to the things people say, because if I react to you, then you already won here. You beat
Mhm.
me mentally.
Yeah.
So I don't ever let that become a thing. So I'm actually quite surprised, really happy that that Joe Budden album changed you for the better,
Yeah.
and
And it,
you deep dived into meditation and the
mhm.
spiritual within yourself, because you yourself are the universe.
Mhm.
All of us are.
Yep.
We
That's
have
a
all the
fact.
minerals.
That's a fact.
Shout out to the sea moss that we could eat, make us better.
Yep.
I actually have another artist to show you that you're
Okay.
gonna be mind blown. I got a song with him too. Shout out to
All right.
Cambada.
All right. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. That's
that's
not
gonna come real soon.
even though you showed me that album. I remember you had also put me on to the Nas album when he came out with that what was the album that he had Amy Winehouse on it? The song that was on it was "The World Is an Addiction."
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? And
No,
even then, I
I have to
was
look it
like
up.
listening. Yeah, I was listening to "The World Is Addiction" with him and Anthony Hamilton,
Okay.
and even that one like blew me to the roof. And I said, "Yo, I gotta do something different. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
do something different." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, music is powerful. Music is powerful. The spirit is powerful, and we gotta understand that. You know what I'm saying? We operate off frequencies.
Yeah,
We are a sound. We are a tone. So
we are.
when you listen to certain music heightens your frequency, certain music tones your frequency down. So like that's why like this music that's out now is garbage, it's
Yeah.
trash.
Yep.
Whereas the frequency
It's
is so
only a
low.
handful of people that have that power to change your emotion.
Exactly. So when you listen to like a Nas, when you listen to like a Tupac, it elevates
Mm-hmm.
It does the sound waves do certain things to your heart to make your heart skip a beat. Like this is a real thing, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But
You
especially when
can hear it
the
in their
frequencies
voice.
get in your ears and it sends signals to your brain, like it's real.
Yep.
But that's a different conversation. That goes into the science and the math and everything behind
So speaking of the frequencies
hertz and all
and the
types of
music,
business.
speaking of
Yeah.
frequencies and the music, what's the one song that you can hear
Hmm.
and then make you cry? Like not full blown cry, but tear up. Cause I got that one.
Um, Man, there's a few, but the first one that just popped into my mind as you said that was Dear Mama.
Dear Mama, Tupac. Shout out to Tupac.
You know?
R.I.P. Matter of fact, he's chilling somewhere in Cuba. He got dreads
Yeah.
right now. Um,
Dear Mama was definitely one that could make me
Dear Mama was
um
definitely one of them hitters.
yeah. Yeah, that's like the only one I could think of that could bring like tears to my eyes. And those are like tears of like kind of like joy and sadness. But
Yeah,
there's also songs that bring those like tears of like adrenaline. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like
yep,
they give you that, make your body shake.
yep,
So there's that. There's that. Like there's a lot of songs out there, man, that are underrated, bro.
yep.
Underrated. Like I advise people to listen to like, you know, um Psychopathic Killer by Eminem and Slaughterhouse.
Yellow Wolf
I
and
thought
all
that
that.
song,
I'm a
I remember when
psychopath.
that
I'm
song
into
came
killing,
out.
playing, lyrical murder. Something I've been about ever since I was a
About
little
I was
kid.
a
You,
little kid.
yeah, that's that stuff.
Oh my God. Like when I heard that, bro, like that gave me chills. I was like, yo,
Shout out to
Eminem
Royce
is
Five
good.
Nine.
Oh my God. That was, yeah, Royce killed that. Royce killed that. Um, there's just like, especially like that Joe Budden album, with Pray For Me and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that is the classic album. Bad Meets Evil, classic
Mm-hmm.
album.
Classic.
You know what I'm
Slim
saying?
Shady LP, Marshall Mathers
Slim
LP,
Shady, classics, classics. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Eminem
that's how
Show.
that's yeah.
So yeah, that one song that made me cry.
That's it. Yeah.
You
What
want
you
to know the
got?
one? DMX and Faith Evans.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Big
you talking
Grandma,
about
really miss
Big
you. It ain't
Grandma.
been the same.
Drop
Shed
a
a
tear
tear
when
when
I
I
hear
hear
your
your
name.
name. Yeah.
Bury on the Holloway. Why you gotta be so far away? It's gonna be okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah,
Always
that's
said it
definitely,
was
yeah,
gonna
you're
be
right.
okay.
That's definitely one of them too.
And none of my grandmothers have passed. Thankfully, the Lord has blessed me. But
Man, that's
when I
that
hear
song
it,
right there make you feel.
yeah, when I hear it, I just think of my mom's, and it just hit different.
Mm-hmm. It definitely does. Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, X got them that change your whole how you feel type of frequencies. But that honestly could be done with anything. They do it to you now, like
Mm-hmm.
frequencies and changing your emotions. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you're watching a movie, say you're
Mm-hmm.
watching The Lion King with your kids, and Simba's father dies, and it's like, oh, they start crying. It's like it's the music in the background. Yeah, what
Yeah,
happened is
yeah,
traumatic, but it's the music in the background.
yeah. It's true. It's all manipulation. It's all
Yeah,
manipulation when it comes to like manipulating your emotion, manipulating your thoughts, and all that. It's all programming, man. But that's something that's a different topic right there.
for sure. So, along with you said you dabbled into drugs and all that stuff. How
Yeah.
was your intervention with life?
Um. At that time when I had given up, it was because I just couldn't get myself together, and I felt like at that time I couldn't do anything right, and it was just problems on top of problems, and losing and gaining, and I just felt like when I was young, like when I was like in my teenage years, I was goal driven, goal oriented. I could do anything, whether it came to boxing, rapping, dancing, writing music, writing scripts. Like I was gonna go to the Artist Tour California, and you know what I'm saying. I was just, but when my life flipped upside down, at that time in my life, I felt like, damn, like I don't think I could make a comeback from this. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But when that's what led me to get deeper into like a spiritual, becoming a little bit more spiritual and seeking answers because what happened was this is what happened.
go ahead.
I was I was hanging out a lot, going to the clubs a lot, like every night. And sometimes we'll go to the club and it'll just be us in the club, like me, my friend, the owner, and then a couple of their friends, and the club is shut down, and we're in the back. Like ain't nobody in there. I'm talking like all winter, and we're doing this every day.
Yeah.
Coming home at 8 in the morning, you know what I'm saying, and just sleeping all day, and just doing reckless things. And then that lasted all the way probably up until like May,
Mm.
like May. And then when May came around, and me and my friend, a friend of mine at that time, we're not friends anymore. A friend of mine at that time, we were like, yo, we got to start cleaning up our act a little bit. And we couldn't even go to work. We had to keep postponing like our orientation for our job at that time because we still had stuff in our system,
Yeah.
you know. So we both got the job, and like 2 or 3 weeks there, I went and transferred to work somewhere else. And I remember getting a call about where he had lived had got raided by police.
Okay.
And my boy was scared for his life, and it was just crazy. I mean, I'm talking about people with hazmat suits, and the block being shut down for like a radius of 3 blocks this way and that way, in this direction and that direction.
You
It was
talking
real
about New
crazy.
York or are you talking about
Now I'm talking about
Pennsylvania?
PA. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm talking about PA. I've been out here. Remember, I've been out here since 2010.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this was a couple years ago. This was about 2015,
Mm.
maybe. And so that happened, and everybody started going to jail. And then like a lot of things started coming out in the open about other people that we had friendships with, that they were doing crazy, you know, crazy shit. I mean, like
Mm-hmm.
some trafficking type crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Yeah, crazy. And then
Thankfully, you got
like
yourself out of
everybody,
there in time.
yeah, thank God, man. I mean, I thank God. I mean, I didn't have nothing to worry about. I was still sort of innocent to the whole situation because I didn't even. We were just hanging.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
didn't know how deep things really were.
Yeah.
So that right there was a sign as well. Like, okay, everybody's going to jail now. This is it ended. That run is over. So obviously, I didn't have a way of doing that same thing, like hanging out with people and drinking and doing those drugs and hanging out, and that has stopped there. So over time, I was trying to
Sorry,
work
bro.
things out with. Now you good. Over time, I was trying to work things out with my kids and my family and all that, and that had to be the darkest time.
Mm.
So I started looking for God. You know what I'm saying? I started praying. I started going to the park every morning, like religiously every morning, going to the park and praying and crying by myself in the park and telling God, like, yo, bless me, man. Like, I'm stressing. I need this. I need that. I need that. And I tell you, he gave whatever the universe that I was speaking to, whatever God that I was speaking to that answered those calls for me,
Yeah.
came through and changed my life. Like, I was working at warehouses, hated my jobs, low pay. I was going through the craziest things. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a girlfriend. I was just, I was going through it.
Yeah.
And I would consistently go to the universe and ask the universe, like, I need this. And and believe it or not, I was blessed with everything I asked for.
Mm.
I was blessed with a car. I was blessed with a good job. I haven't been in a warehouse since the past 5 years. I've been working
Mm.
like desk jobs and call centers, all suit and tie,
Yeah.
crazy stuff. I was blessed after that, and you know, so I forget what your question was. I forget because I'm just going off.
Nah, you good. You good. But let's get to the next question then.
Or,
Um, what is the advice you want to give the younger kids growing up?
yeah, that's a good question. You know, every kid is different.
Mm-hmm.
So every kid, you can't give every kid the same advice. But if I was to give them general advice that I think everyone can follow, is damn. I mean, that's such a hard question. Like the only reason why it's so hard for me is because I used to work with kids. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I worked with kids for a while, probably for like 2 years,
Hmm.
and they were all different ethnicities, different backgrounds. Some of them were from Philly, some of them were from New York, some of them from nice areas, white, black, Chinese, Philippine, like, and you know, that experience, which was about like 2 years ago, kind of brought me back into reality in a sense of like, wow, this is what teenagers are like nowadays. You know what I mean? I'm like, I haven't been a
Yeah.
teenager for so long.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. And I'm like looking at them and I'm like, whoa, this is the new age of kids.
Yep.
So the only thing, the only thing I would say is for them to just don't be afraid to be yourself, you know? And as hard as that is for any young person to do, because at a young age you're always looking for validation. You're always looking for someone to notice you or reach out to you, point to you, and talk to you. So, just don't be afraid to be you.
Yeah.
That's a big problem that I think our young kids have. They're afraid to be themselves. So they fall in the circle of everyone else, becoming what everyone else is. Like, just be yourself. That's the only thing I can say
Be
for a
yourself.
general statement.
And
Because,
if
like
people
I
don't
said, everyone's
accept you for
different.
you, don't need
That's
to be
it. Yeah.
around you then.
Yeah. Just keep it moving. Whatever you doing when you're young, whatever whatever makes you happy, continue to do what makes you happy.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep. You know what?
I mean,
That's a question that I want to ask you.
yeah.
What is the first verse you ever wrote and you were like, "Oh, nice,"
That
or
I was nice at
or
it.
no, that you was like, "Oh, I'm nice," but it was completely trash.
Yeah.
Just the first thing you ever wrote, like the first
Man,
four
the first
bars.
thing I wish I could tell you, bro, but I like it
Same.
had to be it had to be. I mean, because I started writing when I was 9.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So can you see me?
Yeah.
So I started writing when I was 9, and it took me years in those few minutes to even think about my first line, like just the opening, like
The most important
even
line.
the most important line, and then even like we're so used to like having like, "Hey yo, check it," being your first word, like
Man.
so even that you're trying to think like, "Yo, how am I even gonna? What am I gonna say?" And then over time, I just was able to just write. I don't even remember if it rhymed or anything. All I know is I was writing back to back, all the time. And man, I can't tell you if I remember when I got really good, but I do know that when I got to high school, that's when I that's when I started feeling, because I started meeting other kids that rap. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then we would discuss like who was like we'll be in gym and talk about like, yo, Tupac's my favorite, yo, Biggie, yo, Big Pun, Eminem, crazy. And then we just figure out like who we want to sound like, sort of.
Yep.
And then like I would
Yep.
just be writing all the time. And then I had a friend named Brian in high school. He was a black kid. He was mad cool, and he used to love Tupac, right? And
Mm.
I remember he wanted to be a designer. Like he would like put his name on his own clothes. Like it wasn't crazy, but he would
Yeah.
like design his own clothes and wear them to school. And he used to rap. But when he met me, he was like, "Yo, Matt, I never met anybody that rapped like you." And at the time, we were young. I don't think
Yeah.
it was that crazy, but to him, So I started noticing over time though that I was getting sharper with the way I put my words together. I was getting sharper with my
The blade.
sentences and bars. Yeah, like it was getting real, like it was getting real clean. What
You're
I
sharpening the
what
blade.
So then I started like a little group. You know what I mean? And I remember it was Brian. I had some big black kid named he used to call himself I don't know if he called himself Armageddon. It
Mm.
might have been Armageddon. I don't remember. It was
Shout out to
something
Terror
like that.
Squad.
Yeah, right. It was something like that though. And I think, me, I was like calling myself like Blaze or something. I don't remember. And we used to go battle like in the last train cart in the back. It
Yeah.
wasn't even that crazy, but we would go freestyle off the head, and you know. But even then though, when I thought I was nice then, I realized I wasn't even close to what I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I came down here, when I came down here, I had a cousin that I used to hang out with all the time. And he was like really into bars and he was older than me. So he knew a little bit more and he used to teach me how to structure my bars, how to use certain words, um how to pronunciate certain things and how to project my voice and
Mm-hmm.
how to sound on the beat. And then even when I met you, I mean not met you, you hear me? Even when me and you started recording, I didn't know anything about ad libs, spikes or whatever
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah.
goes into making a track. I didn't know
Yeah.
none of that.
I
But now,
was I was so deep into it. I was heartbroken. I was depressed, and I had a
mhm,
closet. I had a room with a door and a lock by myself. So I just
yeah, yeah,
roll up all day and just rap. Even if it didn't make sense, I just rap. And then eventually
yeah.
it
You used to
became
just go. Like
something.
I remember you used to just sit there and just go, like just freestyle by
No
yourself, just sitting
hooks.
there for mad long, just like talking, but you're like rapping. You know what I mean? And you used to do that all the time. And I miss our sessions. I miss our little sessions, what we used to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, we'll come to Cali. One of these days we could smoke a fatty.
right? I remember. I know when I was at my last job. I remember this dude was trying to spit for me, and then I came for him because like everybody tries to do that. I guess like people be like introducing me to people that rap. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, I don't know if I told you this. I was talking to somebody the other day about it, right? Like every time people come up to me and they try to tell me that they rap, and I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm like, let me hear something. And
Yeah.
then they spit
That's
something.
honestly, since I've been in the 6 years that I've been in California and I told people I rap, no one has ever said, let me hear something. That is a New York thing.
For
It
real?
has to be.
Nobody
That is a
says like, let
New
me
York.
hear something out there.
No one. That is a New York
Wow,
thing.
wow, that's crazy. Cause like every time somebody come up to me, like just recently, I was working at Amazon probably like before COVID came,
Yeah.
and somebody somebody came up to me talking about this dude rap. Like they brought some old head dude to me. They were like, "Yo, he rap, whatever, whatever." And you know me, I'm like, "Let me hear something." I'm like, "I want to hear what you got." And then he started going off, and it was pretty cool. It was it was this dude named Jason,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always like, his bars are like really old, but the dude he was alright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He wasn't the best I ever heard,
Yeah.
but he was alright. So then one day I spit for him and he was like, yo, son, like we gotta do something. Like, bro, I'm telling you, this happens every time I meet someone.
Yep.
Like a year ago, like almost a year and a half ago, I went to a birthday party. My boy's brother was like, yo, Matt, my boy Matt spit. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, here we go. And he's like, yo, Matt, spit for my dude. I'm like, I don't know. I was like, I was like, this is a kid's party. I was like, I ain't about to just go crazy right now. So he was like, let's go outside. So we went outside and we let the dude spit first. I was like,
Of
let
course.
him let the guy let him go first. And it was me and my boy Joey at the time. And the dude spit, he's like, saying whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. And then my boy Joey spit. And then I just came on memories, got my thoughts lingering, rooftop chilling, smoking some villain healings in my, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and then he just like, yo, bro, he just went crazy. He was hitting me up every time to make a track, always like, yo, I got the studio up. So my point is everybody I encounter always tells me or has said, yo, you're the nicest dude I ever heard. And I'm
Yeah.
not even being like cocky. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But at the same time, I can understand why they say that because the music that they're used to is the music that's like kind of what's in. Like that's what they're
Yeah.
doing. Like when a couple years ago, I met this one dude on lunch break, and he was like, he was talking about how he won all these competitions and blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Again, I was like, let me hear some.
That is a New
And then
York thing. Gotta get
yeah,
that
and then
tatted.
yeah, and then he's like, word, right? Let me hear some.
Yeah. Headphones.
and he's rapping a little bit. It sounds alright, and then his hook was like Tom and Jerry, Tom and Jerry. I was like, so this white boy, his name is Matthew also.
Okay.
Matt, if you see this, yo, cool ass dude, right? He knows me from way before. He heard me rapping a long time ago. So he was like, I swear to everything I love, bro. I wish I could get him on the line. He's like, the dude rap, but he goes, you all right, but you ain't fucking with my dude, Matt, bro. And I'm like, yo, chill, chill, chill. He's like, yo, I'm saying though, like you, like he's just killing this whole dude's vibe. Like the dude is there, like,
Putting them
all
down
right,
already.
yeah. So the dude's like, let me hear something. I said, you want me? I said, damn, Matt. I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm like, bro, why you made me do this to this dude? So then I just started spitting. Like I was like, my thoughts in cities. This flow gonna be the grittiest. Who you know could smash pyramids, dispose of your rap privileges. My cast lips, cast spirits upon your appearance. Now we gonna be here for a minute, cause you gonna get it. When I spit has now begun. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got a
Yeah.
grip on the nigga, the angel with death. Go grab your son, hide your guns and stack your check. You don't wanna be next when I'm catching the wreck mask on my head, blasting the tag battle when he said any day. Yo, the dude's like, yo. After I was done, Matt is already acting up. He's like, yo, you crazy. And the dude was like, bro, the dude, I swear, he walked off like,
All right, you got it.
all right.
You got
After
it.
that, bro, I'm telling you, after that, the dude never said what's up to me again. Walk right by me, never like even like a head nod, nothing. Just like on some like I don't even know this.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's to show you, like, you know what I mean?
I mean,
But
from his perspective, he just met you, and now your boy, he don't even know. I don't think the other
hey,
Matthew,
listen,
he like
you
threw
come to
his
me,
whole
you
vibe
talking about
off.
yeah, but even then, you come to me and you're talking about you winning competitions and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
so you better come back like, oh word, that's crazy. I got you. Let me hit you with this. But
yeah,
when you do that, you just prove to me like you whack, nigga, you corny.
yeah.
Like
Well, with that, it's been like what, hour and a half. Good talk.
probably, yeah.
Almost 2 hours. We're gonna
Hmm.
end it
Really,
there on
almost two
that note.
hours?
I think so. Hour and a half,
Wow.
if anything. It was honestly a really great chat. I learned some things about you I didn't know. You
Yeah.
learned some
Mm,
things about me that you didn't know.
yeah. Yeah.
All in all, I say that's a win. But before
Yeah.
we go,
What's up?
I know you are an MC. So can we
Rightfully
please
so.
get a 16?
All right. So you want to hear me rap? I want to
Yes.
hear you rap.
All right. Me first.
So this is gonna be the end. This is how we're gonna end the show. All right.
You got
And
sleepers,
I need
though.
it. You gotta go first. You gotta go first.
Beat or no beat?
Nah, no beat. I want to hear that acapella.
All right. Mm. Yo,
Yeah.
welcome to the mosh pit where you could get brutally hit with arms, legs, have your face looking like Pompeii. I don't give a F, you CK? Mask off so you could see me. And I haven't even reached my stride yet. Peep my dialect. Let's make a deal, cause I bet I'll be having more success than I could ever dream to reach. I'll eat shrooms, grab the sheets, and stare at the seams. It seems like the seed cracked in half, so I followed the path to change my life. But me and the old I are more alike than I thought. Conflicted, I'm a misfit since I busted my mother's amniotic sac and dragged her placenta with me. How real is that? Graphic.
Ooh, ooh, graphics. That boy killing them.
Damn, you hyping me up.
That boy killing them.
Hyping me up now.
I say, yo, here's a confession. Thought I was destined to be young and reckless. 13 with the golden necklace, flexing, leaning like the L on a Lexus, knocking grown men out cold and leaving them breathless. At 16, it was strobe lights, Henny and moonshine. In VIP with 2 dimes, getting deep throat and giving them deep strokes, provoking the kid, get you exposed like assholes when the barrel make you touch your toes. The flow make holes come out of their clothes, slide on pose. I'm a professional rhyme spitter, albino Apache with a hatchet, quick to get you lit like matchsticks, make you kiss the cross and let my son split your ashes. I'm plagued by black magic, spark mics and shred dogs like Pool Pork is G Mace from Brooklyn, New York, where the dogs bark and bite. I advise you don't sleep from 293 to Palm Beach. I can't compete. I lyrically stampede and plant the seed that birth keys. The math goes over your head like the crown on kings and queens. I've been nice since the canopy. No one in my caliber dare challenge me. It'll be pure anarchy. I battle your faculty while smoking cigars and sipping daiquiris. Chest busting out the silk. The brim still tilt. Tim still lace. Still keep my chick with a slim waist and thick thighs. She's sweeter than the Georgia pie. And I'm a virus like COVID-19. Airborne like chemtrails. Disguised as clouds in the sky. My mind's a leash. Just me and my dime piece. Still rocking gator skin on my timepiece. Scarface like Al Capone. The ghost still keep a Tommy. I still body tracks. My lyrics vibrate and make your girl climax. I'm verbally complex. I know cats that riddle me with threats, hexes, and curses, praying with candles lit. These cowards got no luck. I'm hotter than stove tops. Make the blood from your nose drop. Your eyes bloodshot. Too high like tube socks. My tune rock and boom. I've been dropping gems and putting knots on goons since the locker room heated up. My pores spewing fumes. I call my gun Simon and say them eyes sound like that crazy.
Good, and we gonna end with that. So subscribe
like
to
that?
Mattlife28. Love it, bro.
Yeah, subscribe.
Mattlife28.
Subscribe to Mattlife28 if you want some you want some motivation, some inspiration, you want to hear how to get ahead in your life a little bit. And I'm also working on another channel. All right. This is just for the men. I'm making this one just for the men. This is for those dudes that need they need to know how to get ahead a little bit in the dating world and
for the youngins.
Whatnot. This for the youngins, yes. This
young grown men.
Young grown men. So when it drops, it's gonna be called Alpha-Demics. Alpha-Demics with a K. All right. And that's gonna be a new YouTube channel. So stay on the lookout for that.
Definitely.
And we're gonna be out here, man.
So with that, thank you for chilling with the homie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always a pleasure.
Hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah, you gonna, bro.
We could definitely talk like this again. This was a great talk.
Yeah,
hour
sure.
and
I appreciate
half,
you.
2 hours. Shoot.
Yeah, I appreciate you wanting to do this. And
talk for 3 hours next time.
yeah. I appreciate it, man. It's great. It was great. I think we dropped a lot of gems.
Hell yeah, we definitely did. So with that, subscribe. Graphics718, GRAPHIKZ 1718. That's the YouTube. Graphics718. That's the Instagram. Please follow. I follow back.
Yes.
Subscribe to Mattlife28. MATTLIFE28.
Ooh, I like that.
But all right, man. We'll see y'all soon.
Hey yo, I'm from BK, grows the block. Niggas get me twisted, that's what soda gets pop. Didn't like my face, cause my eyes were screwed. One brown, one blue, shorty thought I was cute. I used to be sad, so I grabbed a pad. I used to hate my dad, till he showed me a jab. My mind was the lab, watching it change with age. I ain't playing no games, never my name. You trash on this wall like Capcom, Deadpool with a mask on. Palm sweating like the first time I seen ass in the thong. You niggas got me wrong. Flip side, I'm a